Let me begin by asking you a question that might shake the very foundation of how you see your own life. Have you ever wondered how many dreams were buried, not because they were impossible, but because the people who held them quit too early, not defeated, not broken, simply impatient? One of the most tragic things in the world is this: people expect a harvest without planting seeds, without watering them, without giving them time to grow. They give up not because they lack talent, not because they lack opportunity, but because they lack patience and faith in the invisible progress they cannot yet see. You see, every great success in the history of mankind began quietly, silently, hidden beneath the surface where no applause was heard, where no audience was present, where no results were visible. A man begins a journey with nothing but a vision, and that vision becomes his fuel, his compass, his meaning. But to the outside world, before the achievement blooms, it looks like nothing is happening. And that is where most people fall apart. They say, "I've been trying for weeks. I've been working for months. I've been waiting for years." And they whisper to themselves, "Maybe it's not meant for me." What they do not realize is that every great achievement follows the law of growth. When you plant a seed, nothing happens for days, nothing happens for weeks. You water it, you care for it, and still nothing seems to change. But underneath the soil, where your eyes cannot see, roots are forming. Stability is forming. Strength is forming. Nature is teaching you that growth begins in silence. That is the law you must trust. That is the progress you must believe in. That is the patience required for greatness. You will never meet a successful person who cannot tell you about the years of invisibility they endured. The world only sees the final chapter, never the thousands of pages written in private. And if you quit while your roots are forming, if you walk away during the silent stage, you will never witness what you could have become. Let me tell you something extraordinary. Research shows that a bamboo tree takes 5 years to break the ground, but once it does, it grows up to 90 feet in 6 weeks. Imagine that. For 5 years, nothing appears to be happening. For 5 years, the world would laugh, criticize, and say, "You're wasting your time." But if the farmer stopped watering the soil after year 4, even after year 4.5, there would be no bamboo tree at all. It would die just inches away from breaking through. So let me ask you, how many people stop just inches before their breakthrough? How many quit when the roots are almost ready? How many give up right when the universe is preparing to reward them? Perhaps you are one of them. Perhaps you've been working on something and the results are invisible. People around you are succeeding. Time is passing. Doubt whispers. Fear grows. The temptation to quit becomes stronger every day. But listen very carefully. The absence of visible results is not the absence of progress. Progress grows where nobody can see. The universe is building your roots, and roots must be strong enough to support the weight of future success. Imagine if everything you wanted arrived instantly, without struggle, without resistance, without effort. What kind of person would you become? Weak, unprepared, fragile. The struggle is not punishment, it is preparation. If you skip it, you skip the strength required to hold the blessing. The reason most dreams collapse is not because they are impossible. They collapse because people can't handle the waiting. They want a microwave outcome in a slow-cooking world. But greatness does not rush. Greatness develops in the dark. The question is not, will it take time? The question is, are you willing to go through the time? If you cannot endure the silent years, you do not deserve the legendary ones. If you cannot trust the progress, you will never meet who you could have become. Think about the men who built empires. They weren't smarter than you. They weren't luckier than you. They simply stayed when others walked away. They kept watering their dreams even when the soil looked dead. They kept fighting long after failure tried to convince them they were done. Because they understood a truth that most reject. You don't have to see progress to believe progress is happening. The roots of success are always invisible first. When a pilot takes off, he doesn't instantly reach 30,000 feet. First, he must fight gravity. The engines strain, the metal rattles, the aircraft shakes violently. If someone had no understanding of flight, they would assume something is wrong. But that turbulence is exactly what lifts the plane to the sky. The resistance is required for the rise. Life is the same. The struggle you feel now is the force lifting you. The pressure is not breaking you, it is shaping you. The waiting is not wasting, it is working. The silence is not a sign of failure, it is the incubation of success. And here is another truth. What you become during the waiting is far more important than what you get when the waiting is over. Anyone can celebrate a victory, but only a few can remain disciplined without one. Only a few can continue the journey when the road is lonely. Only a few can persist when the reward has not yet arrived. You must ask yourself, do you want comfort or do you want growth? Do you want approval or do you want purpose? Do you want immediate pleasure or do you want long-term fulfillment? Because these things do not live in the same space. Comfort says, stop. It's not worth it. It's taking too long. Growth says, be patient. You're building more than you can currently see. Comfort says it's too hard. Growth says anything valuable is... Comfort says, maybe it's impossible. Growth says impossible is just the opinion of someone who gave up. So many people lose everything because they want the reward faster than the process. So many destroy themselves because they cannot bear the weight. So many surrender their future to satisfy their impatience today. Do not fall into that trap. You owe yourself more. You owe the world more. You owe the future version of you the chance to exist. Remember this, the top of the mountain is reserved for those who did not turn, around halfway. And if you need proof that progress is real, look back, not forward, back. Look at who you were 1 year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. You survived storms that once looked unmanageable. You overcame events that once felt unbearable. You learned lessons that reshaped your character. You have grown more than you give yourself credit for. You are already proof that progress exists, even when it is slow, even when it is invisible, even when you doubted yourself. If you had quit then, you would not be here now. And if you quit now, you will never arrive where you are capable of going. So continue. Continue even when no one claps. Continue even when nobody sees. Continue even when the reward is distant. Because the moment you decide to stop is the moment you guarantee failure. But the moment you decide you will not quit, no matter how long it takes, victory becomes inevitable. The world is full of unused potential, unfinished dreams, people who almost made it. Do not become another name on that list. The day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. But the fruit will come. And when it does, you will look back and realize that every second of patience was worth it. Trust the preparation, trust the silence, trust the struggle, trust the timing. Above all, trust the progress. Because while you're waiting, something extraordinary is happening beneath the surface, something powerful, something necessary, something that is shaping the person you must become before you meet the success you desire. So do not stop, not now, not ever. And consider this, every person you admire today, every leader, every inventor, every athlete, every entrepreneur, had a moment when nobody believed in them, a moment when the world doubted them, a moment when the results were invisible. But while others mocked, questioned, and laughed, they kept going. Not because they knew the outcome, but because they trusted the process. They trusted the progress. They trusted themselves. Walt Disney was told he had no creativity. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before achieving a working invention. Colonel Sanders was rejected over 1,000 times before someone believed in his recipe. Henry Ford went broke 5 separate times before building the empire that changed the world. Imagine if they had stopped. Imagine a world where Edison quit after attempt 300. Imagine if Ford gave up after going bankrupt the second time. Imagine if Sanders stopped knocking on doors after rejection number 50. Our world would be darker, emptier, and less inspired. History remembers the victories. It forgets the invisible years, the silent battles, the lonely roads. But make no mistake, the invisible years are the reason the victory exists at all. So when you feel discouraged, do not ask, why is this happening to me? Ask instead, what is this preparing me for? Because everything in your life is either shaping you or strengthening you. Nothing is happening to you, it is happening for you. There will come a day when you look back and understand that the moments you wanted to escape were the moments that carved the greatest parts of you. The nights you cried, the mornings you doubted, the days you wanted to quit. Those were the chapters that sculpted your character. Nobody becomes exceptional through comfort. Nobody becomes extraordinary by avoiding discomfort. The people who reach greatness are the ones who endure what others avoid. Pain is the admission price for progress. Sacrifice is the currency of success. Patience is the doorway to transformation. If you want a life others don't have, you must be willing to do what others won't do. Stay when others quit. Work when others sleep. Believe when others doubt. Persist when others surrender. Stop measuring your progress with the wrong scale. Stop comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Stop seeking approval from people who aren't bold enough to pursue their own dreams. Stop thinking success is magic. It is mathematics. You show up, you execute, you repeat, you plant seeds. One day they grow. And here's something most people never learn. What you repeat in private, you are rewarded for in public. Not instantly, not suddenly, but eventually, always. The world rewards patience. The universe honors persistence. Life bows to consistency. A man who does not quit cannot be defeated. Let me share a truth that I hope stays with you forever. Every effort you make changes you long before it changes your circumstances. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, your mind expands. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your confidence strengthens. Every time you push through discomfort, your spirit evolves. Your external world may not reflect it yet, but you are becoming something greater internally. And when the internal transformation is complete, the external results arrive. Success is not something you pursue. Success is something you attract by becoming the person worthy of it. If you want more, you must become more. If you want a greater life, you must outgrow the smaller habits that are holding you down. You cannot carry old patterns into a new destiny. So ask yourself, are you waking up with intention? Are you giving the day the effort it deserves? Are you honoring your potential? Are you feeding your mind or poisoning it with distractions? Are you building or destroying your future through your decisions today? We become what we repeatedly do. We sculpt our destiny with our daily actions. The difference between the successful and the unsuccessful is not luck, it is commitment. The unsuccessful wait to feel motivated. The successful act while motivation is nowhere to be seen. The unsuccessful quit when it's hard. The successful continue because it's hard. The unsuccessful want guarantees. The successful trust the progress. Trust is the greatest power you possess. Trust in the unseen, trust in the process, trust in your effort, trust in the law of cause and effect. The seed you plant today will become the fruit you will eat tomorrow. When you look at your life right now, maybe you don't see results, maybe you don't see growth, maybe you don't see change, but do not allow temporary invisibility to convince you nothing is happening. Mountains are moved one stone at a time. Oceans rise one wave at a time. A man transforms one decision at a time. Your story is being written in silence right now. Your breakthrough is being shaped beneath the surface. Your roots are strengthening. Your foundation is forming. Your future is expanding. And the day will come, if you remain steadfast, where everything becomes clear. You will finally see what was being built all along. You will see why the struggle was necessary. You will see why the waiting mattered. You will see why quitting would have been the biggest mistake of your life. But that day belongs only to those who continue. This is not about speed, it is about direction. It is not about immediate results. It is about long-term transformation. The people who rush collapse. The people who trust rise. The people who chase approval crumble. The people who chase purpose endure. So stand tall, stand disciplined, stand patient. You are becoming someone powerful. You are evolving beyond who you once were. You are writing a chapter that one day will inspire someone else to keep going when they feel like quitting. You are building a legacy, brick by brick, step by step, moment by moment. There will come a time when you look back at today and say, that was the day everything changed. That was the day I refused to quit. That was the day I chose faith over fear. That was the day I trusted the progress. And that decision will be worth more than any prize.